Just Give Me 5 is more than just a brand. It's really our way of giving back to the individuals who helped pave the way for so many opportunities today. It feels good giving them a chance to tell their story and let them be heard. Because if it wasn't for them, a lot of things wouldn't really exist. I'm Dave Miranda, and all I'm saying is just give me 5. Coming up in the Arizona music scene, I encountered a lot of talented individuals. Met a lot of weirdos too, but that's for another story. But during that journey, a lot of the individuals became like family. And this guest that we have today is definitely family. She's performed the national anthem at damn near every professional sports game there is. She's traveled the world in rock shows. She was also one of 52 finalists on American Idol. And overall, she's just a solid individual with a great soul. And we're gonna jump into all of that right now. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I present to you the one, the only, Dina Lopez. Dina, what's up?
Oh my gosh, stop.
Had to hit you with the intro. Hit you with the intro.
You already had me. I was like, I can't. I cannot.
You know, you look great.
Thank you.
You know, you look
as do you.
Beautiful as always.
We look the same. We're about the same age.
Yeah, well, yeah, just about.
Couple days apart.
Right. We've been drinking our water and minding our business. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
You know, it's like before we did this, I was thinking to myself, like, this isn't even going to be an interview. This is going to be more of like a genuine conversation amongst childhood friends. Because we go way back. What, 1988 to be exact, baby?
I don't think they know about how way back we go.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Hornets in the house. You know what I'm saying?
This is crazy. So it's about damn time you got me on this show.
Man, long overdue. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's all about timing, and I just feel like, you know, the universe was like, this is it. This is a new season. Yeah. You know, you're kicking it off, and I'm excited. You know what I mean?
You're still going. I'm still going. We're still going.
We're still going.
I love it. I'm so proud of you.
And it is awesome. Colder than a pimp's heart outside. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Usually we coming in hot. We coming in cold like a
motherfucker. We look good. We're out here enjoying the sun.
We are. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's beautiful, man. But thank you, Dina, for doing this, for coming through. We're going to have a really, really good time.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you having me. I'm honored to be part of your journey. This is awesome.
As am I.
Thank you.
So let's go ahead and get into it. So now, when did you know that you could officially sing? Because I know when I found out, and we'll get to that, but I want to hear your story.
I mean, I always felt like I knew. I was always like, my sister and I, we would always like, make videos and perform them for our parents and like do all these like extravagant, and you know my family's crazy. Yeah. And one day I just started singing Whitney Houston.
Which record?
I Want to Dance with Somebody.
Ooh, classic.
And I just started like put my hair up, and I started singing it to my parents, and my mom looked at my dad and she's like, did you know she could sing like that?
Right.
And he was like, and you know, my grandfather always told my mom she's going to be a singer, because when I was little, he would play his guitar and I would sing in key. So she's like, I didn't know that she could do it like that. Right. But you know, my dad used to say she's probably going to be a singer because she can sing in key and you know, all the little things. So they put me in musical theater. I was a Oompa Loompa. That was my first. That was my first, debut to the world. And, I had my moment. I was the youngest Oompa Loompa to sing. Right. And it was my moment to shine. Yeah. And I had to do a cartwheel, and I forgot to tuck in my shirt. Uh-oh. Shirt flew up. You know, I'm a little baby at that time. I'm in 3rd grade. And I was like mortified, but I singing, and I just kept going, and I was tears rolling down my eyes, and then I did my little cartwheel off. Yeah. So I think it was then where they were just like, we got to do something. We got to keep going with this girl. Yeah. And high school really allowed me the opportunity to actually showcase. So I got to do that, and my senior year in high school, I sang the national anthem for our state championship. Yay! Go Knights, SM Knights.
Yeah.
We won that year, but we played South Mountain, and
Rebels.
yeah, and I sang the national anthem, and people were booing at first, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Okay, she can sing a little bit." So
They were booing you at first?
yeah, well, because
do you
I
mean?
was from the opposite team, and
Oh,
I
so
was
you
singing
were-
the
you were-
national anthem.
So you were the away team.
Yeah,
And
well,
it was at South
it was
Mountain.
it was at the Phoenix Suns Arena, at the America West Arena. It was back then.
Oh, so were there just more predominant South
Well,
Mountain
you know,
Rebels
it was
there or
just it was
something, or
it was a state championship,
Right.
and they're like, "Why does this girl get to sing the national anthem?"
hating? Right.
You know, and
Hating
so
ass.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so I sang the anthem, and everybody was like, "Oh, okay, well, she can sing a little bit."
Right.
And then someone from the America West Arena at that time
Yeah.
called St. Mary's High School and was like, "We want this girl to sing at the Diamondbacks, you know, the Arizona Diamondbacks for
Yeah.
the national anthem there," and that was in 2001. And I'm
Right.
just saying, they won the World Series.
And that was the year. I know when you told me that, I was like, yo, that's the year that they won the chip.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I mean, and the thing was is that also what was so we were like, you know, looked at as the bad guys because
Yeah.
9/11 had just happened that
Yep.
year and we're playing the Yankees. So they were like, yo, like you got like we need to give it to New York, but this is a game, baby.
Oh.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
We
Like
kicked it off.
Our hearts go out, but it's still a game.
We
You know what I'm
kicked
saying?
it
Like
off.
so, and
Yeah.
we won, man, and we haven't won a chip ever since in any other.
Well, I mean, we
you
went
know?
to the World Series last
Right,
year,
right,
so
right.
that's
That was-
fine.
yeah,
That was
exactly.
good, but it's just ironic because it kicked off my career.
kicked off,
you
ain't
know,
that something?
and I went to American Idol after that, and it was.
We're gonna get into that.
Yeah,
We're gonna get
so
into that.
that was kind of like what, you know, catapulted everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just a good time.
You know, when I found out that you could sing,
Oh, love.
was in 8th grade,
Oh, love.
right? And I want to say it was our 8th grade graduation mass. I think that's what it was because we went to St. Agnes. You know what I mean? So it was a Catholic private elementary school.
Yep.
And I don't even remember what song it was, but I remember we were sitting in the far back. Maybe it wasn't our graduate because I don't know why we were
Stop,
sitting in the
you're
far.
gonna make me
No, we were
cry.
sitting in the far because it was, and we all had to walk out, right? Like we all had our suits on, our dress. You know, everybody was dressed up, but we had to walk back, so they had us in the back. I remember, and I just remember like all of a sudden, a couple people were like, "That's Dina," and blowing, like I mean, like killing it, and I just remember looking like, wait, what? Because I had no idea like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we had everybody messed around like a
Yeah.
little bit, but it wasn't like to that extreme. And I was like, yo,
It was a heartfelt song.
do you remember the song?
Damn it.
I don't remember the record, but you were killing it though. Like you were going in, you know what I'm saying? And we were like 13 years old, you know? And
Yeah.
that's when I first realized, and I was like, yo, man, like,
Okay.
Dina got something there,
I
you
don't
know?
think I realized it at that time. I mean, I did, but also,
Right.
like not like that.
And then like high school happens, you know what I'm saying? And you know, this was the 90s. You know what I mean? Like so we were like
The good old days.
party crews, you know what I mean?
Oh
You'll
my
never see that
gosh,
again.
stop.
You had party crews, the party scene, so everybody was we were outside.
Yeah.
We were outside. You know what I mean? Like there was no social media, like you had to get out and talk. And it's like life was happening, partying, and then it's like your senior year, it all transpires, you know what I'm saying? You get hit with that with the championship and you go over there and sing that, and then all of a sudden it just starts to take off from there.
Yeah. It was pretty cool.
That's dope, man.
I know. I love that we also like were able to maintain our friendship throughout those times. Like you mentioned party cruise, like come on, we're gonna go there a little bit.
Yeah, man.
We
Yeah.
all had like our party crew
Hell
days.
yeah.
And like I went to St. Mary's, you went to
Right.
Marco's.
I went to all kind of schools, but that was but at that time, yes, we made the transition to Tempe. That's right.
But it was
yeah.
also like our friends were friends, and our like randomly just
Right,
all of
right.
our crews, and so we were always. I felt like I always knew what was going on with you, which was really cool too. Because I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, that's my boy from like kindergarten,
Right, right.
4 years old.
Yeah, like a lot of people can't, and a lot of people can't really say that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can obviously say yo, I remember that dude. I went to kindergarten with him, but they're not cool still.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just on some like memory type shit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like, no, like with us, it's like it always was genuine. It
Yeah.
was always solid through all these years.
Like-
and here we are, 91 years old now and shit. You
I
know
mean,
what
I'm not
You
91,
know what I mean?
but you know, I'm
we-
like death becomes her. I drank the potion. I
right,
drank the potion.
Exactly. You know what I mean? But it's like, and that's what makes it so unique.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's special.
I'm proud of us.
I'm proud of
High
us
five.
too.
High
I'm proud of
five.
us too.
There you go.
We look good too.
We do. We
I see
look
some
damn
motherfuckers
good.
from back in the day like,
I
God
know,
damn.
I'm feeling that jacket. I might change you. Go ahead, give me that jacket.
I see some of them like life hit you in the ass. And it's always the ones that talked all the most shit. It's like-
Everybody else was talking to like,
you know what I mean? It's
we
crazy,
stayed
man.
quiet. I was like, okay.
But it's like, that's just something that I've always cherished, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
with you and I, you know
Same.
what I mean? And it's, and to see everything that's happening now with you in the current, it's like we're still here. But right now, it's like we're just touching on the beginning portion. It's like, so what theater was it that your mom and dad had you in?
I was in the Phoenix Children's Chorus and
Is that what it was?
Phoenix Youth Theater.
Phoenix Youth, okay.
Is where I started, and
Okay.
yeah, it was bizarre. And then I got accepted to the Phoenix Girls Choir, which was like this really big,
Yeah.
big deal. And I don't think I was ready for that at
Was
that
too
time.
much?
Well, I was,
Pressure
I
or
was
what?
I was in eighth grade, and
Yeah.
I thought I knew everything at that
Shit,
point.
from me seeing you perform at that mass, I was like, she ready. But
I was ready, but I wasn't ready for that. I was,
Right, right.
I went through my trials and tribulations as an adolescent, and I was just
yeah.
I challenged everything, and I was a rebel,
Right.
and
You're right.
I just wasn't prepared for that like refined type of
Yeah.
structured music, and
Mm-hmm.
I was accepted into like the Southwest Singers, and was going
Wow.
to travel, and
Yeah.
it just wasn't a good time for me to do that, which I'm okay with.
But that's what it is. It's all about timing.
Yeah.
Everything is. You know what I mean?
I think so.
And so it just wasn't your time. You just weren't ready. You know what I'm saying? And the universe always knows that.
Timing and
know?
just like acceptance. Like, what are you prepared for?
Right.
What are you not prepared for? And
Yeah.
I just wasn't prepared at that time to be able to go and do that. So my mom was like, no, now you're not going, which I'm grateful for, because like I said, I was able to catapult myself into a lot of opportunities, and I think I capitalized on them when I needed to, and
Yeah.
I was still able to maintain kind of my lifestyle, and I'm happy. Yeah. It's
Exactly.
been fun. It's been a fun ride. I love that we're here right now. This is crazy.
So how did American Idol happen?
Oh my
Tell us
gosh.
about that.
I had a mutual friend, a good friend actually, who's now still a fantastic friend, Marisa Ronstadt.
Okay.
And she was singing in a local cover band,
Yeah.
straight up at Baja Tilly's.
Right.
I'm
Shout out to
19
Baja
I know.
Tilly's, man.
Over there on Broadway.
Right.
And she was moving to LA to go do her music thing. And she's
Okay.
like, hey, I need somebody to kind of take over my role in this band.
Yeah.
So I stepped in, and I was able to do that. And we went to American Idol that year to go and audition.
Right.
Didn't make it. I was 18 years old.
Okay.
But the following year, I was like, I think I can do this. I think I'm Teresa Brindisi, and I.
Yeah.
Remember Teresa Brindisi?
Yeah.
Also a fourth grade St. Agneser.
Right. Yep.
I flew on a plane for my very first time at 19 years old.
Where was it at?
San Francisco.
Oh, it was in Frisco. Okay. All right.
And we flew to San Francisco to audition, and I freaking made it. Like, It was so bizarre. Like Ryan Seacrest called my mom. He had a flip phone. He called her on like at work and was like, "Hey, your daughter just made it to Hollywood." And
Wow.
it was so surreal because my family's very supportive. They always have been.
Yeah, definitely.
But that was like my thing of being like, I can go do this. Like I'm gonna do it. And it was treacherous. It was,
Right.
you know, people don't realize like American Idol. Like it's like 5 auditions that happen before
Yeah.
you get on TV.
Right.
And so,
And you got to fucking deal with Simon. You know what I'm saying?
but I didn't deal with
But
Simon.
this is
I had to
getting-
deal with like 5 people
Right.
before I even dealt
Before
with
you even dealt
Simon.
with them,
And
yeah.
so it
Right.
was, and Simon loved me. He was.
No, I'm just saying in general. Like,
Yeah,
like
but-
he
and
was a beast. You know
That's
what I mean?
what was crazy is he loved me. Randy
Yeah,
gave
yeah.
me a hard time. He was like, "You're a little pitchy for me," but you know,
Damn.
when I got that, they're like, "You're going to Hollywood." I was like, "Yeah, duh."
It just happened fast, huh?
It was so fast,
Yeah.
and I don't think that being that young, I don't think you appreciate it.
No, no.
You're not prepared. Again, I was not prepared
Right.
for that lifestyle. We were
Yeah.
very sheltered, going
Oh,
to
yeah.
Catholic school our whole
Right,
lives, and
right,
we just weren't prepared for that. Like,
right. 'Cause this is a whole another animal now.
oh, that like moment of shine where there's like
Right.
cameras and like people care about you
24/7.
all the time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
my family only cares about me.
Right.
So it was definitely different. And so going to Hollywood and going through the American Idol process, it was a bittersweet time for me. Like I still get a stomachache if I don't watch American Idol to this day because like the song even my mom says the same thing. It's just it was a weird time.
It hits home. You know what I
It
mean?
hits home, and it was
Yeah.
just like, if I knew then what I know now, I probably would have done better, but also
Right.
would I have compromised myself
No,
a little bit?
No, everything happens the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, so I felt like you had to kind of compromise yourself a little bit and be something extravagant for them to like say, oh yeah, you're going to the next round.
Right.
My voice carried me through all those rounds, so that I think that was like validating for me, at that time. Again, 19, 20 years old, you think you know everything.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And that kicked off a whole just multitude of events and opportunities
Oh,
that
absolutely.
I would have never been given. It was crazy.
So once you finish, so you finish the audition, you make it.
Yeah.
So now you get to Hollywood. What are you seeing?
I mean, I'm not kidding. So I was like hanging out with Jennifer Hudson,
Wow.
LaToya London. Like
Right,
these are the people in my
right.
crew that we just got there. We're like, well, what do we do?
Exactly.
Like we're just gonna sit here and
Right.
we kind of gravitated. There
Eat
was a
some
group
cheese.
of us. It was insane. Nothing I've ever. It was an emotional roller coaster. I said
Yeah.
I always say it was the best and worst 2 weeks of my adolescent life that I've ever had experience because
Right.
you just dealt with so much every single day. Every day was
day.
an audition.
Nope.
We got there.
Yeah.
We drove up in buses and we're like, yes. And I'm like, okay, let's go into the auditorium. You have to sing now.
Right.
And it was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I better like do well. And, my roommate didn't make it.
Wow.
So we were put into rooms with people, and she didn't
wow.
make it. So she left the same night. So I was like one of the only ones with my own room. So it became kind of the party room. But
right.
we won't talk about that.
You got a little peace and quiet
Yeah.
for the most, but yeah.
No, there was no peace and quiet. It was like everybody was partying in my room.
Damn.
But it was weird. It was like spring break. It was, but we're all
Right.
singing. We're all striving towards the same thing. And again, I don't think anybody realized it was season 3. American
Yeah.
Idol's in what season?
God, I can't even tell you now.
52,
Right,
62, something.
Yeah.
I don't think that we realized how big of an opportunity this
Yeah.
was. So we just kind of hung out and played around, and
Wow.
It was really cool. My mom was there with me, my aunt and my uncle.
Really?
They kind of, my tia Jerry and my uncle Vic.
Oh, nice.
They've always been like really supportive.
Yeah. So they pulled up. Family pulls up on you.
Well, they've always like been like my sponsor, like, you know, and just supported me and been like, hey, you have to do this. Like, you're that good. So we're going to support you.
You know what I mean? They saw it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, you know where we come up from. We're from the hood. We're in the east side. So, you know, money is not just readily available to go and, you know, go do things and buy clothes and to go on this multi-million-dollar show that billions of people are watching. So to have that support was really awesome, and they stayed with me the entire 2 weeks, and it was a lot.
That's dope, man. So now it's like, so now you're there. So now, how was the actual like being in front of Simon? You know what I mean? Like, how did that experience go for you?
Just surreal, you know, like being in front of them. Again, I don't think I realized the magnitude of like, oh, you're in front of Paula Abdul. I was more infatuated with Paula Abdul than anything because
down,
I was like, I grew up like.
That's Paula Abdul, man. You know what I mean? Like.
Just step forward.
Taught Janet how to dance.
Yes,
I mean, come on, like,
come on, like,
we're not playing.
Paula,
you know?
and she was so little, and she was just awesome.
Yeah.
Simon, I was not terrified of because he was actually very sincere to me. He was very forward and blunt. He was like, hey, I think one of the most things that, you know, and I'll like to this day has stuck out in my mind from him was you have one of the best voices out of all of this group, but I don't remember you. Because I was very passive, I was very like subdued, I was very introverted, like on stage. I felt like I needed to be, right? I didn't want to be like too much and over the top. If I knew then what I know now, you'd be like, oh, you're gonna get all of Dina Lopez now. I would have made it, honey.
Ring.
But when he said those words to me, he was like, you have one of the best voices, I just don't remember you. And you're not memorable. And I'm like, okay. So that has stuck with me throughout my entire career of like, you know what? When I'm on stage, people are going to remember who the hell I am. Like, you're not going to forget who I am. You're not going to forget the show you just watched. You're not going to forget the experience that you just experienced. And, you know, I give everything in my performing because of that. Like, that was the moment where I was just like, thank you for that. So if there was anything that I took from American Idol, it was... I mean, there was a lot of things, but I think that was the most, you know, I took that and applied it to my life. In everything that I did. Like, okay, at the end of the day, you're always going to remember me. Whether I'm here, however long I'm here, like, you're always going to at least remember who I was. And so...
Because it's either going to make you or break you. Right? Like, some people are just broken from that stuff, right? But
never go off to do anything else.
And they're just done. You know what I'm saying? Like, you took it and were like, you know, like, I took it in stride. You know what I mean? Like this is we're gonna keep pushing. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, you're getting me all up in my feels over here.
And don't cry, D. Don't cry.
I know. I'm like, hold on.
But you know, that's something that no one can ever take from you. You know what I'm saying? And to be that early in it, like, that's when it was like legendary. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you know, now, you know, you got, you know, The Voice, you know, you have all these other shows, right? You know what I mean? But like, that's the one that set it off.
It was raw.
It was raw.
It was still really raw at that time. Nobody knew anything. Like, I mean, like I said, Jennifer Hudson was in my season and they kicked her off. And she went on to be one of the best.
And that's Jennifer Hudson.
She went on to be one of the best vocalists.
Got her own show. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
she didn't even make it to, you know, the finals. And that's what's insane about it is like, it was still very raw. There was so much raw talent that came out of, you know, the early stages of that show. I mean, even still after, but it was like, we didn't know what we didn't know. And we had to figure it out. And like, if you figured it out, the ones that figured it out went on to do great things. I think I went on to do, you know, what was appropriate for me.
Absolutely. Tell us about some of the shows that you've done, because you have done some outrageous, just incredible things.
Yeah,
Man.
I've got some, like I said, I got some really good experiences and opportunities. You know, after American Idol,
Right.
I had a, you know, slew of people that were just like, hey, we want you to come and sing and do,
Right.
you know, perform here and perform there for the the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I did the naturalization ceremonies,
Wow, man.
which was so awesome to just sing the national anthem for people that were becoming citizens.
Yeah.
And, you know, that was awesome to be able to do that. So a lot of things for the community, you know, the Hispanic Women's Conference, like all of Arizona really just kind of supported me. And I was like, I was kind of taken back because I was like, I didn't even make it that far. But they're like, no, you made it pretty far, girl.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you did a good job.
In their eyes, you know?
Yeah, and so, you know, all of the Phoenix Suns, I did a lot of stuff for the Phoenix Suns charities and singing the national anthem. I still, to this day, am very involved with Phoenix Suns. So that was awesome. I went to China.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
A band from LA sought me out and was kind of like, hey, we want you to come sing. I had an audition at Disneyland, which was like my childhood dream.
Wow.
When they had Tomorrowland and you know that stage that came up.
Right.
Yeah, I was on that stage and I was like underground. And there's like a whole world underground. I got to see like the underground one. I'm like, what is happening?
Wow.
So that was like, that's cool for me. You know,
That's amazing.
Those are things I would never, ever have the opportunity to do. Just
And
as an
you were
ordinary
living out there in China, though, weren't you?
Yeah, I was
right?
there.
It wasn't like you just pulled up. Like you were living there. How long were you out there
I
for?
was there. Well, and the thing was, I was contracted for 4 months, and with the band that I was there, and you know, when you're out there, you network and you meet other people, and I got to do other shows. So I did like a 3-day rock show.
Wow.
And for a Chinese rock show, which that's my stilo. If anybody knows
What
me
was
now.
that like?
It was insane. You know, I did like this I was with this band. I sat in for their singer who couldn't make it. She was an Australian.
Okay.
And I got to do that show, which was really, really cool. And it was like all over Chinese television. And so like I would walk down the street and people are like, you're the singer.
They knew you.
They knew me. And
no, for sure.
I was like a big deal. And like that was so foreign to me. And it was also very humbling because I was like, what? I came home and I was like, who wants my autograph?
Right.
I was like,
right.
No, nobody wants to talk to me. But no.
I couldn't even go to Starbucks out there. You know what I mean?
And literally because, you know, we're on Jumbotrons and I was there,
man.
you know, almost a year and it was crazy for me to, and time passed so quickly.
Yeah.
So when I came home, it was just like so much had changed and I had to kind of adapt to that too. Again, nobody knew who I was.
you know what's so cool though too is that is getting a chance to experience the way that like the culture, like how they appreciate it. Because like I toured Japan, right?
Yeah.
And so when I was out there, karaoke is everything to them, like everything. Like they have costumes that you can put on. It's like
that is their pastime.
It's like
is
the
like,
thing. You know
we're
what I mean?
going to karaoke tonight.
Yeah, it's like the real deal.
Yeah.
People out here will do it. We'll have a couple drinks and just go and have fun.
Yes.
No, it's like a performance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you get a chance to see that and kind of like engage with them and understand like the passion and appreciation that they have for like U.S. culture and the
American music. And
American
just music. You know, it's just
you
the
know?
music in general. And
Absolutely.
yeah, when I went to the Philippines for work, so it was different, but I also experienced the same thing. It's like, you know, they did like this whole, the job that I was working at their, you know, call center, they did like a whole presentation. It was like their idol, you know, and it was like people went up and sang. I got up and sang like, Dina, you have to do it.
Wow.
They like treated me like royalty, right? Because I was on American Idol.
Right.
So yeah, that Asian culture, I adore their appreciation for music.
Oh yeah.
I think that they're also now capitalizing on it and taking it to the fullest of like, we're gonna do this.
Right,
and,
right.
You know,
and the Hispanic culture.
Oh my gosh.
Like in Japan, they have like cholos.
Yeah.
Like they're super big on the Chicano culture.
Yes.
I don't even know how they got the Impalas out there. I mean, that must have cost We're not even gonna go there. But
they're-
they have Lolos out there, like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like they're wearing the khakis. I mean,
I love it.
you gotta like look, like take a second glance and be like, wait, what? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm like,
am I in East LA or where am I? You know what I
I'm
mean?
trying to leave. If I'm
But
trying to leave the United States, I'm going overseas to Asia.
It's like like the appreciation for that
Yeah.
is so cool. So that's also awesome too. Like that's always a plus, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's just, that's just so dope, you know. And it's like, so you did the Philippines, you did Guam,
I was
right?
in Guam. Yeah, we went to Macau, China, and then went to Guam.
Yeah,
and
after that, yeah.
was there. I was in the Philippines for work. I was in Australia for work also. But
Yeah.
the cool thing was that the people that I knew in China,
Right.
from living in China, the band that I got to know, they were an Australian band, Australian Latino band, mind you. So when I
Wow.
went to Australia for work, I connected with them. I ended up being able to like go sing out there and
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, I'm very
dope.
blessed to be able to have the opportunities that I've had, and
Yeah.
like they've just taken me on so many different paths in my life that I've been able to
Absolutely.
experience some really awesome things that not everybody can say that they have. Like I
Right.
tell people, and I feel like they think I'm lying because I'm like,
Right.
yeah, I lived in China. You know, I went to Australia 8 times, and you know, I sang here and I did that, and they're
Yeah,
like looking
yeah.
at me like, knock it off. And I'm like, no.
They're like, you ain't left the block. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I feel the same way. I'm like,
Right.
did I do it?
Right. No, it's
just
just-
being able to say it. Sometimes when I speak it, I'm just very like in awe also of like,
Yeah.
man, I really got to do some cool. We've got to do some cool things, man. Like,
Absolutely. You know
I'm
what I
proud
mean?
of us.
Yeah,
Again, high five again.
High five.
Another
You know what
high
I mean?
five. Yeah.
I love it, man. And you know, it's something, like I said, that like no one can ever take from you.
Yeah.
It's like that's something that you can take with you to the end. Like, you know, it's like not everyone gets that opportunity. You know what I mean? And the fact that you obviously killed it with American Idol, like that was like the reassurance. Okay, so because if you bombed, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think people would necessarily be feeling you like that in these
Yeah.
opportunities. The doors wouldn't necessarily have opened the way that they did. So that kind of shows you there. It's like, no, man, like I did that. I went out there and killed it. Maybe I didn't, make it off of that, but I did. I killed it. I rocked it, and look at where I'm at, and look at what the life that I was able to have. You know, it's dope, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's awesome, man, and I'm just really, really proud, man. Really
Me too.
proud of you.
I'm
So,
proud. I'm
yeah.
proud of us. I'm proud of myself too. It's taken a while to be able to be like,
Yeah.
you know what? I've done some good things. Like, people always say that, like, oh, I thought you were going to be famous. And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah. No, I get. I
I don't know if I wanted to be famous. I
Right.
don't think I could have handled it. And the
Right.
little fame that American Idol posed
Yeah.
with me, it was very,
Yeah.
it was just like something that I hadn't been exposed to. And so I don't
of
know if
course
I
not.
would have handled it. I probably would have ended up like Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, well,
or
yeah,
like,
I mean,
I'd
God,
just been like,
I mean, God, you
know?
see all these, like you see all these documentaries now. You hear all these
Yeah.
stories, and you're like, maybe we dodged a bullet. You know what I'm
I
saying?
really
like,
do.
You know,
My
like,
mom says,
goodness.
Deidre
Yeah,
Lopez.
yeah, right.
We got to give some love to
Right,
Deidre
right,
because
Shout out to Deidre.
she was like,
And
that
Dodie,
was
but yeah.
divine intervention. She's like,
Yeah,
that was
man.
divine intervention that you didn't go that.
I know,
Because
man.
I don't think I would have been prepared for it. I probably would have went off the handle because I was already like, okay, I
Right.
ain't going to school. I ain't working anymore. Like, I'm just
Right.
going to.
This is it. You know what I'm
And
saying?
It's none of that.
Yeah.
Unless you sell your soul sometimes. So.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared to do that. So
Right.
I'm thankful for the way that everything worked out, for sure.
So, what is the current, like, what's for Dina Lopez now? What's next for you? Like, anything you're working on?
I mean, we're old.
Shit.
Tired.
We young, man.
I'm
We
tired.
young.
Yes, you know what? I'm
But
so
I-
blessed.
but I
and
do get it, though, you know
And
what I
I love, again, the opportunities that I've had. I feel so blessed throughout my life to be able to say, like, I've done these things. I'm still
Right.
doing them. Like, I'm still doing music.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
gig every weekend, basically, like, if I want to.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that. I just did a show, Latinas Divinas, at
Yeah,
the
how was
Scottsdale Center
that?
for the Arts. It was awesome with
That was
Carmela
fire.
Ramirez,
Right.
Marisa Ronstadt, Mary Hurtado, Diana Lee. So just so many like amazing women that came up in Arizona and
Yeah.
set the tone for like Latin music, but also just Latin musicians and Latin female artists. And so,
Right.
those are the people that I learned from. Those are the reasons I was able to start singing at Baja Tilly's when I was 19 years old.
Were you 19
I
when you were
was
doing that?
19,
Damn.
singing at Baja Tilly's. Like, okay, I'm just drinking
Shout out-
Coca-Cola. But-
Shout out to my homie Adrian. He used to spin there.
Yes.
Wasn't 19 though.
Oh my gosh.
But that's just how it was, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But again, that paved my path, and so I'm
Yeah,
always so grateful and thankful for that. So I'm just still maintaining, like I have a job, like I work, I'm in corporate America.
you do sales, right?
I am a training manager, so I'm in L&D, not labor and delivery, learning and development. I've been doing that for 21 years, and that's always been like my yin and yang, right?
Yeah.
Like I have music, and then I
Right.
have my corporate life, and that's
You had the balance though, you know what I
it's
mean?
my balance, and
Yeah.
and they both given me so many opportunities to just travel the world and be able to just stay an independent Latina, single, no kids.
Amen to that. Maybe that's why we still
Hold
look
on,
down.
I'm just kidding. I'm engaged, but yeah. So I sing in a band. I am singing, downtown Copper
Yeah,
Blues. I
yeah.
do a lot of corporates. I do a lot of different shows, and I still do the national anthem for the Phoenix Suns, and
Right.
different. Again, the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and just
Exactly.
so I'm able to represent my community, I feel, and
Yeah.
I'm known in the community, and I love that.
Oh,
Hence
yeah.
why I'm here, and I just love that,
That's right.
we're able to do this. But I got some things in the works too.
Yeah.
I got some things that I'm working on with some good former colleagues, and
Mm-hmm.
we're working on some music and just maybe dabbling a little bit in some projects. So
I was gonna ask, because we collaborated,
Oh, yeah.
in 2009, and the cool thing is that album was the one that actually got us a deal in Japan with River City Records in Tokyo.
why didn't you take me to Japan? What the hell? What's
Because
going
you were
on?
too busy in Guam, you were in Australia, you were in China. I think you were living in China.
Come on. I would have just crossed on over. Could have called me. I would have been gone longer.
But you're still a part of it, so you were there in
No,
spirit.
I love that. Yeah, I love that for you, and I remember when that happened.
But
so.
you know what I mean. So we worked on music back then. Did you ever solo? Never solo.
I
projects,
did
or-
it. I mean, I did. I worked with Sam Diggy.
Right.
From Planet X.
Planet
and
X,
yeah,
mhm.
that's my boy, and I still love him to death. And
Yeah.
we had some good projects, but no, like I said,
dropped a
if
solo LP,
if I
huh?
knew then what I know now, I
Yeah.
probably would have been a little bit more diligent in dedicating my time and efforts to like the music side.
Yeah.
But I was also at that time like, I don't want to be a starving artist, and not to take away from anybody, but
Right.
that wasn't my vibe. I was like, I just need to make some money because
get
I want to
that
be on
bread.
my own, and I
Yeah.
want to live like this independent life. So
Yeah.
I had to work, and
Right.
I didn't really know how to balance that, and I didn't have the appreciation now that I've always had an appreciation for music, but I didn't have an appreciation for the hustle that you needed to have.
Yeah, man.
Right? Like
Yeah.
you need to have a hustle mentality to be able to go out and make a name for yourself. There's a
Absolutely.
million artists out there that hustle every single day in and out. And
I had a lot of ramen nights,
I love ramen.
but it worked out. You know what I mean? It was
you
just
know,
credits,
yeah. And so I didn't appreciate the hustle that needed to go into
Right.
into being, the artist that I know I could have been.
Yeah.
But that I still am today. I get the respect that I feel like I have earned.
Yeah.
That I deserve, and I'll continue to demand it.
Absolutely.
Diva or not, like.
You know
Love it.
the beautiful thing about you though is because there's some artists who are only good live. You put them in a studio and they tank.
Yeah.
I've witnessed it, but you, because we've worked together, so I can say this firsthand. You can do both.
Yeah.
You can because you kill it live. Phenomenal live performer.
Thank
great
you.
energy. You sound great. Just the whole nine. You know what I mean? But you can also do really well in the booth. You know what I mean? So it's like.
Well, get me in the booth then.
Damn. Now we got to do that. You're gonna bring
Coming next, 2025.
You're gonna bring me back. You're gonna bring me back. You know what I mean? Like,
This is the 40 club.
right, exactly. This is like exactly. No, but that's just something I always thought was so great. It's like some people can't, and you can. So the sky's the limit for you, Dina.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't think that it's not. Yeah.
No,
I love that I have people like you in my life that are still doing it and still going. And I'm like, okay, well, David's still going, so I'm going to keep going.
Right.
I love to see that. You know, James Rivas.
Yep,
like,
James. Shout out to James.
I love seeing all of our friends and our family that we grew up with. You know,
Right.
I've known you since I was 4 years old.
Exactly.
Stop.
Exactly.
So I love seeing us come up and continuing to do what we love to do.
Right.
You know, we could be doing something that we don't. So
Oh, yeah.
This is great. Yeah.
So now this is a question that, you know, we've loved to ask our guests. And the main reason for it is because, you know, it's so easy to, especially with the last 4 or 5 years the world's experienced, right? Like it's real easy to forget those people that were there for you, your day ones, whether they're family, friends who became family, same situation. But it's like, it's real easy to forget that and get caught up in, what is it, lost in the sauce, they say, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it can get lonely sometimes. Some people can kind of go through some hard times. But when I say the word special, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're on a pedestal. It just means that to all those people, you are special to them.
Yeah.
And you are somebody that they look up to. So this question here for you, Dina Lopez.
Oh my gosh.
How does it feel to know that you are special and extremely loved? Get the Visine. Get the Visine.
You know, it might not be as emotional as I think because I've never forgotten that.
You're right.
You know, like that's the only thing that's ever like my family, my friends, like my loved ones. I've never forgotten that. And I think that's like, I think maybe that's like what has kept me
Kept you going.
kept me grounded.
Absolutely.
You know, it's like I don't forget where I come from. I don't forget the people that have supported me, and gosh damn you, you did tell me you were gonna make this little teary-eyed. But I haven't. I've never forgotten that, and I've always had that support. I've always had my family there. They've always been like just my rock and my everything.
Yeah.
You know, like I am who I am because of my mom, my nana,
Right.
you know, my cousins and my sisters and my family, and so. Like, it feels awesome, but it's like, I would be lost if it was gone. And so I don't know what that feels like. I don't ever want to, right? I felt lost, obviously, when people pass, but.
Yeah, that's life. You know what I mean?
But it's life. I feel like regardless of what we do, you know, everyone in our family, like, is on a pedestal, like, in any capacity. It's like, oh, you know, you had a great baseball game. You're freaking amazing. Like we celebrate it, you know.
No, you do.
And
you
like
do.
my little cousins are like, oh, you know, Nellie had a kill on her volleyball game, and so it's like,
Yeah.
And so everybody celebrates all of our wins.
They do.
That it's like the big wins are awesome as well, but
Right.
I think that's what keeps us grounded, and it keeps us like who we are as good people, and we don't get caught up in that world of being like. I'm Dina Lopez, you know, like I've just never.
Or the opposite. No one loves me. You know what I'm saying? You know?
I feel like I've never gotten there because I have so many people in my life that are so supportive of everyone. Like
your
we're
corner,
just and they keep me grounded. They let me know like, don't get it twisted, girl. Like.
Right.
But they're also like so very supportive of everything, and so it's a really good balance, and I'm so appreciative for that. And I think that's, like I said, divine intervention. You know, I didn't become this famous star, but like in my family's eyes, like I'm a big deal, and I love that they celebrate that. But they also are like, you're not that big of a deal, girl. Which is also what I need. I need. So
bring you a little bit.
But we celebrate our wins, we celebrate our losses, and it feels amazing to have people, even like yourself, to ask me to do this show. It's like, okay,
right,
like, let's go do this. So,
yeah.
yeah.
That's beautiful, man. Well, You know, I can't even express to you, you know, like I said, just how proud I am of you. I love you, you know what I'm saying? And I just wish you nothing but the absolute best, you know?
Same.
And it's like I said, the sky's the limit. You have it all. You're one of those individuals that can just do anything, you know what I mean? You can, and you're going to, and you are, you know what I mean? It's not a matter of like, when people ask like, you know, what are your dreams? You know, it's like, well, I'm living it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're living it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we're doing it. You know what I mean? And it may not be to the extreme of so and so or something, right? But when you start comparing yourself, that's when you get lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to just be, no, this is my journey, and what's meant for me is meant for me.
We're happy.
And that's the main thing. You know what I mean? So, you know, like I said, just I love you, and just thank you so much for coming here and doing this, sharing your story with this old guy here.
Same, man. I think, you know, and I told you this before, like we need to do a show on you, because I'm proud of you too. You know, we came up together, like I said, you know, since we were 4 years old. Who would have thought we'd be sitting here having this conversation in front of so many people and talking about our story and our path and like our life and our journey and like all the amazing things that we've done. So I'm so proud of you, and I'm so honored to be a part of this experience, and I love that it's continuing, and I can't wait to see the journey. But you also need we need to recognize you as well, because it's a big deal. And so this is cool.
Well, I appreciate
this was really cool to be able to like sit here and have this conversation, and here we are in our phone. In our 40s. But yeah, this is awesome. We're doing it, and we're happy. And look, another high five.
Another high five.
There we go.
She's gonna high five me to death.
Another high five.
Well, I love it, man. And on that note, this has been nothing short of amazing. I'm Dave Miranda, Dina Lopez, and this has been another episode of Just Give Me 5. Till next time, y'all. We got some food too. We about to eat. What? Peace.